Elsewhere, junior doctors in England will begin the longest strike in NHS history this week.
Yes, they're set to walk out for 6 whole days at a time when the health service is at its most stretched. The government has called on the British Medical Association to call off the strikes after offering an 8% pay rise, but the BMA says this is not a credible offer and does not restore pay back to 2008 levels.
Well, I have to say, who has had pay back to 2008 levels? Joining us now is junior Dr. Bhasha Mukherjee. Thank you for making the time for us. I suppose there is a simple moral question here in terms of a lack of care at the time at which the NHS is most stretched. Junior doctors have been offered between 10.3% and 8.8%, depending on what stage they are in their career. That's quite a large rise, is it not?
I think it's the wording. Again, you were just talking earlier about the language used, and when you talk about it being a rise, it truly isn't a rise, it's a restoration. We are talking, you were talking about 2008 levels. We have had a 26% decrease in our pay, and this is why what the fight is about. And really, the spotlight remains on doctors being responsible for this, but I keep saying this, it's about the government and what their actions have been. And actually, the government has opted to pay for locum shifts and locum doctors the same amount as it would have cost them if they had just restored junior doctors' pay.
Bhasha, it's essentially holding patients at ransom, isn't it, really? Because it's been reported today, that 20,000 paediatric treatments and surgeries were cancelled due to this strike action since it began. That's a huge number of children who are being impacted, devastating consequences perhaps for some of those young patients. Are you sure all junior doctors are actually genuinely behind this action at this time? We've had NHS leader after NHS leader saying that this is the worst possible time for this action. How can it be justified?
So I would like to say that, the polls have showed that junior doctors overarchingly support the strike motion. Whether they're taking part in every single day of the strike is a different issue, because even striking for us, it costs us money. It means that we have to go without pay. A lot of doctors actually end up taking up extra shifts on other days that they'd normally be off to make up for it, just because of the affordability perspective. But in terms of supporting the strike motion, absolutely a large majority of junior doctors are in support of the strike motion. In terms of holding patients ransom, I think we really have to think about what is the alternative here. We risk losing a large number of our workforce if we don't give them what they're asking for, essentially. And these
Bhasha, I'm afraid we're going to have to leave it there. We've got to the end of the hour, but thank you so much for coming on and putting your case across.